All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to part two of our data science and AI summit from the New Life Research Foundation. My name is Freda Dinanipa, and we will be entering into part two, like I said. And our instructor is no other than Bro Peter Tsaha, who had earlier started with the Python programming class. I want to urge us all, just like we were able to achieve some measure of decorum in the morning session, to please keep our device muted unless you have permission to speak, and also limit intrusion and interaction with the screen while they are, or whoever is going to be doing a presentation. I believe we are all adults, and more so we are believers. We should adhere to instruction so that we can all achieve our goal here. Once again, I want to welcome you from wherever you are joining us. It is my expectation, or our expectation, that this second segment is going to be much more fulfilling, and that we'll leave here better off than we came. Just before we begin, I'm going to invite him shortly, but I would like us to still pray. I'd like us to quickly close our eyes wherever we are as we invite God's presence to continue with us just like He did in the first session. Father, we thank you for this awesome moment that you have brought us to. Thank you because you are faithful. And because you are faithful, you will keep your words to the very end. Thank you because even in this session, you will do what you have started. You will complete it in the name of Jesus. I declare that every instrument that you would use, everyone who is going to be that of blessing to us, Lord, may you refill them, and may we live here better educated, better informed in the name of Jesus. Father, we pray any limitation, every form of limitation, we completely erase, and we declare that your presence will rule and reign from start to finish in the name of Jesus. Thank you for what you have done and what you will do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 Thank you, everyone, once again. So I'm going to be inviting Bro Peter Tsaha to take us on part two of Python programming. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Fred. I welcome everyone to this second section of our Python programming class on this summer school. My earnest desire that the dedication we are shown to be here will not be in vain. We are investing time and attention, and we are trying to follow. It's something worth commending, and pray it doesn't waste at all. So we have a lot of things to do at hand, more so that we are trying to be detailed, so it takes time. So we'll be going straight into our learning. But I don't know if there are some people that are here that were not in the morning section of the Python instruction. If you are here and you didn't follow in the morning section, please can you just indicate in the comment section with a negative, with a minus, showing you were not there in the morning. Just type minus. Okay. Can see one person already. Okay. Okay. We are about 53 on the call, and we have 4 people by the statistic I can see on the charts that were not here. Usually I was preparing to do a little review before we go into the hands-on of what we did in the morning section. So that would be to the favor of those that were not here and those that were here but didn't grasp certain things, particularly in the aspect of data types and data types in particular. I would like us to do a little review of that on that before we go into the hands-on section. And that is the first thing. The second is I'll be sharing my notebook that I'll be using for this hands-on section. I will share the link with us so we can access it at our end. And as we are doing this, you are expected to be practicing along so that you are not just a passive student or a passive learner. You are only looking at what is going on. So I'm going to be sharing that, but I remember that I remember that in the morning section, some people were complaining that they were not able to fix or to set up the platform for them to run the course. I don't know what we are going to do to that effect. I don't know if such issues were resolved during the break. Um, notwithstanding, notwithstanding, I am sure what we are going to, all that we are doing is recorded. All that we are going to be doing in this section is also recorded. So if you miss the section, you can't practice today, you can always get the recordings and practice when you have succeeded in setting up the environment. But I don't think it's very difficult, very complex. Can I request input from any of us, any of the instructors? Can we just go ahead or we should just do something about those that have not set up their environment? First of all, if you are here and you are not set up the environment, you cannot run Jupyter code on Google Colab, indicate in the comment section. We'd like to know so that when we kickstart, we know that we are working with a good number. If you have not, just indicate. And by that, we know that those that have not indicated have theirs and are ready for the hands-on.
All right. So I'll comment about the pre-lab. We had a pre-lab before we went into the other sections. So I will be here, and maybe after you finish this session, which is this section, which is the um, the lecture two. After you are done with that, before you move into the hands-on session, I can take a couple of minutes and go over the installation processes. And basically, I will just go maybe the web-based, which would be much easier, but I will also guide those that needs to install them on their local computers. But I think that is going to take pretty much time, which I don't want to stay much on that. So, but let's see how it goes.
All right, thank you very much for the the sharp comment. Um, I will plead that in order not to take too much time, after the summary, you can just guide them on the online section. We may take the the other ones, the other installations some other time so that we'll continue with this lesson just to carry those along that would like to practice as we are doing. So please, maybe we're not going to the other installations, just to guide them to make sure they have set up the online section so they can run their Jupyter notebook on it. So thank you very much. So basically, just to recap what happened in the morning section during the instructional period of Python programming, we spoke about we were able to reveal to us the content and introduction to Python and operators, expressions, and control flow, working with Python data structures, conditional statements, and loops. And we are going on now to the hands-on Python exercise. We are going to be testing some things and seeing how what we said, the theory we learned, how it works out in the code lines. How it works out in the code line. Sorry, it's like I've not started sharing my screen. Let me go ahead and share my screen now. Hello?
We can see your screen now. Go ahead.
It's all right. So these are the content we covered, the instructional period. Now, I won't have all the time to go over everything, but we tried to look at what Python is, the importance. And one of the striking importance is that it has wide range of applications, which makes it essential for modern programmers. If you are considering going to programming now, we recommend you go for Python first because it will be a soft landing for you. All right, so it's okay. So we're on the well, we're not talking about the installation. What we're talking about here now is this Python data types. And I felt we need a good understanding on this to be able to cope with the hands-on. In fact, I was instructed to go over this again before going to the hands-on section. So I would like to briefly take some few minutes to go over Python data types so that we refresh our mind and those that were not here will be carried along. So we said it is very important for you to understand the Python data types so that you'll be able to manipulate the variables or the values or data in any expression you have. You can't just take any data type and will be trying to manipulate with another or trying to work on it with another variable that are not compatible. So it is very important to understand this as a foundational tool for your journey in Python programming. Okay. So we said that Python data types, we have numbers, we have numbers are divided into integers, which is written as int, and floats and complex. Python data types, you have numbers. Numbers can be an integer, can be a float, can be a complex number. And an integer is either positive or negative. An example here, as you can see, is 20. Can we see my screen?
Yes, go ahead. We can see that. Go ahead.
It's all right. So it's 20. So it can be negative, it can be a negative number, it can be a positive number. And the float is any number that has the decimal point in it. So here, an example of float value is 35.75, which makes this a float, but it's still a number. It's still under number data type. And then the complex. The complex type is, it has an imaginary part and the real part. The real part is this one, and then plus 3J. Sometimes it's J or I. But that alphabet that is attached to the other side is called imaginary. This part is the imaginary part. And these are also used in mathematical computations, especially when it deals with dimension, 3D, all those dimensional calculations, manipulations. So we have three groups under numbers. And when you come to bool, to another data type here, which is bool, its output is in two format. The output in true or false. I look the true, if you can see this true is TR, this T is capital. That is the point I need to emphasize. This T is capital. Don't write it in lowercase. This F is also in capital. Don't write it in lowercase. Or don't be tempted to write all in capital letters. That is in upper cases. All right. So the first letter is capital, the rest are lower cases. So it's either true or false. Then, which means in layman understanding, it is yes or no. That is synonymous to this, but it outputs in true or false. So the set, you use curly braces to define a set. I have the items in the set. This is a dictionary, which is a key value pair, type of data structure. It has a key that calls the value. When you want to access the value of the dictionary, the value of the dictionary here, you will call the key. You call the name and include the key, then the value will come. So that is how to access values from the dictionary. We are going to be looking at that. We have the space and time in this section. And the next one is sequence. Sequence is with strings, lists, tuples. And a string is basically text, but it's not limited to text. When you see values that are enclosed with inverted commas, they are called strings. Inverted commas, maybe double inverted commas up here, the beginning and the closing. The word inside, like Jessa, is the word and is a string value because of the inverted comma that enclose it. The next one is list. The list contains items that are listed here. The first is 2. The second, which is an integer. The second is the first is 2, which is a number. The second is A, which is enclosed with inverted comma, which is a string. The next one is a boolean. and they are all included in these brackets, these straight brackets. And this is how a list is defined. Anytime you see something like this, with these brackets, these strong brackets, you know that it's a list. But when it is with these rounded brackets, it can carry varying items too, but it is a tuple, the way it is defined with these rounded brackets. So these all are under sequence, and sequence is data type. These are data types, and sequence is a branch, is a part of this. These are subdivisions. But what really matters here is, as you are working with Python, and when you come across a particular data type, you should be able to know what the data type is and how to manipulate it. So we went ahead with the characteristics of the data types. We just spoke about list, tuple, dictionary, and set. They are the ones I use most often. And I think they are common in many Python programming aspects. So we looked at the characteristics of the Python data structures, which are lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. And they are all here. We say a list allow duplicate members. You can allow members, like can allow a particular number to appear more than once. That is duplicate members. It can appear names like Peter. Peter can appear twice, but you know that this is the first Peter but it's not, doesn't make sense actually. You should know how to differentiate between the two, but the point here is that it allows duplicate members. Why tuple tuple also allow duplicate members, just like list. But the main difference between list and tuple is that list is in a list is mutable, but a tuple is immutable, which means in a list, after defining a list, you can add some items to the list. Like in this case, we have a list here. We have 2, we have a 5.7. You can add some items like 6, like 8, like 10 to this list to make it longer. And you can equally delete some items that are here currently. You can pop an item, that is delete. You can also use a delete command to delete an item. You can replace any item here with another. But in a tuple, you cannot do that. Once you have defined it, you cannot mutify its members. You cannot change the items that are there. So most times when you are using a tuple, you define things that you know are going to be constant through your programming, maybe through the entire repo. You are not going to you just have those ones as constants. You are not likely to be changing the values. So you define them as a tuple. So in the list, there are some functions you can use to change it, but in a tuple is not changing. I think that is a major difference, operational difference. But maybe a physical difference, you see that the square bracket is used to define a list, while the rounded brackets are used for tuple. That is the physical difference you can see. So when you see in the code where rounded brackets are enclosed with items in it, you know that is a tuple. When you see square brackets, you know that is a list. Okay. I decided to streamline to discuss list and tuple because they are similar. And then dictionary and set also appear to be similar. In a dictionary, you have no duplicate members, and a set also has no duplicate members. So what is the difference between a dictionary and set? Dictionary, in a what the characteristic is changeable indexed, but here cannot be changed, but be added, that is non-index. You can add, but you cannot change the items you put in the set. But in the dictionary, they are changeable and they are indexed. You can call in by index. Soon we are going to be understanding what indexing means. Or maybe I should go ahead and I think I have a diagram I can use to describe what indexing means. Um, I
Also,
have,
is it possible for you to also share the links to these slides? Since we have like new people that may be joining,
okay,
or
okay,
those who are not able to have access to them, if you can still share the links, then that would be
it's
very
all
helpful.
right, I will do that. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Trying to get something that I will use to illustrate that is, all right. I wouldn't want to spend. I thought it's in this folder. I kept everything here, but I didn't see that here. So maybe we're talking about that in the material we are going to be using.
Yes, I think indexing is also in the hands-on. So maybe when we move to hands-on,
Yes,
we can talk more about that.
yes, yes. So uh, that is the difference, and that indexing will be covered there. I'll take time to explain when we get there. So a dictionary is unordered and the set is unordered, and they also use the curly brackets to define both of them. So the striking difference is one is mutable, one is not mutable but is extendable. So having said that, I think we have covered that to a point we can go ahead. Except there is a pressing question that needs to be addressed before we move forward. So let me go ahead and share the link to this slide. If there's any question, you can drop in the chat and to be brought forward. All right, I've shared that with us already. So we can, I think we can access it without link. Please let someone try accessing it. If you get it, let me know in the comment section so that I will know you were able to access it. Thank you very much. So I think at this point we stop and make sure those that doesn't have the platform, they have not got the setup, have done that so that we go to the hands-on section. Mr. Fred? All right, so someone has gotten it, so I know it's shareable. It can be accessed. Hello, Mr. Fred.
So are you also trying to access like the link you shared on our data science channel? Is it that link is it that one?
No, no, I think I've shared my slide, the link to my slide.
Okay, I was thinking you were referring to like the hands-on section.
Okay, let me go ahead and do that as well.
Okay, thank you.
I thought you were only saying that concerning the slide. All right, so I've shared the material for the hands-on section that I'll be using as well. All right, so Olbi, can you take over with the guidance for the installation now so that we don't waste too much time? I don't think there is any question there in the comment section, but if there is, it can be brought forward.
All right, thank you very much. I will take over from there and then we'll get back to you. So, if you joined us in the morning, you must have gotten the materials that we used, the presentation I made. I shared it with us. You have the instruction for this Python. We just share that with you as well, both the link and also the PPT, I think the PDF. And then if you just check the comment box, you will also see the Jupyter notebook, both the link and the Jupyter notebook file. So the Jupyter notebook file is for your hands-on skills. So what I would strongly encourage you to do is to download that Jupyter notebook. You have the link to be able to download it. If you can't, then download it from this Zoom. And maybe what I can also try to do quickly is to see if I can blast it. So maybe I should share my screen so I can blast it. I want to try to blast it so you can get it as well. Okay, can you stop sharing so I can be able to go ahead? Operator, can you hear me? Can you stop sharing? All right, thank you.
Oh, sorry
Uh,
about that. I
yeah,
never knew
okay,
I
you're
was
good.
still.
Yes, thank you. All right, so here we are. So I'll be taking us back to how you you can use Jupyter Notebook. Okay, this we already have this. We have I have sent this to you, and if we go to blast, I can blast it as well. Um, oh, maybe there is no way to blast to add a file. Oh, okay, maybe that's the disadvantage of Luma. Um, there's no provision to upload any file, so I can't blast it. I can only send messages. Okay, but at least you have the file. So if you have any challenges, let us know. If you can access the files, if you can download it here, let us know. We can quickly figure out something for you, because this is the most important session. We want you to be able to do something. Pay attention closely from section to section, and you will be able to understand all these things that we've been talking about. We have the hands-on session today, almost throughout this evening session, and then we take the AI assistance tomorrow in the GitHub, and then you have more time to practice. We've we've kept this weekend only for Python to allow you to practice and to get used to these things, so that as we move into next week, you will be able to manipulate data, because we don't think you're going to be using data this week. This week is just for your practice, just hands-on with Python, just getting used to Python with operations and with everything that we are teaching you, the data structures, the classes and objects and whatever that we're teaching you, get
That
used to
GitHub,
everything.
you don't download a platform.
So
You don't get
please stay
account.
muted as well. If you have a question, you can raise your hand and we can give you the room to speak. So let me go ahead. So if you were not here, what we did in the first section that was in the pre-lab was to show you how to install packages, how to install softwares or tools that you need for this summer school. But I will go back and share my slides. I think I still have them here. And from the first page of the pre-lab, what I did was to share with us the browser-based platforms, the web-based platforms. We have Google Colab and we have Anaconda. And I gave an example that you are using Python to implement projects. It could be projects in machine learning, AI, web design, and what have you. So, and you only do that in Python. You only do that in certain environments. You can't open a Jupyter notebook in Microsoft Word, or you can open it in PowerPoint. You can open it in Microsoft PowerPoint. You can open it in just any environment. It's just like you can't play soccer or football just anywhere. You can't play it on a tree. It's not possible to play soccer or football on a tree. You have to go to the soccer pitch. That's the only place you can be able to play that. So I was trying to guide you on where to find an environment for you to be able to play around with Python, to use Python and be able to do certain things. And so I'll be basically showing you about this. And maybe tomorrow morning I'll be going more in depth into the command line installation. That's on your terminal, on your bash shell. That's if you want to use a bash shell for scripting, you can be able to do that. But that takes way longer and it will consume almost all our time. So I'll just show you how you can use the web-based platforms, which are very easy. You can use either Google Colab or you can use Anaconda. We have many IDEs and we have Spider. We have many of them. Spider is one of the IDEs as integrated development environment. Those are environments that are Python friendly. Those are environments you can work with Python, Python files or Python notebooks, so to say. So for some of you who have Mac operating systems, you have VS Code. VS Code is one of the environments. Um, I know people use Spider also for code, for checking their code and things like that. But basically, for this class, we're just going to focus on Google Colab and Anaconda, which are pretty easy to use. So I'll just go ahead and share that with you. I think I have to go back to, let me check the comments if there are key questions. Okay, we have all the links you need. All right. So, okay, everything looks good. So let's go back to the web-based platforms where you can play around with Python. Okay, that's here. And then I go back. And I think I was trying to use this place. Or maybe I was using my, yeah, okay. So now I want each and every one of you to go to your browser. If you don't have an environment to work, if you were here and you follow, no problem, you don't have any problem, you can use only one environment. If you don't have that environment, now go to your browser and type Google Colab. Google Colab. And if you if you were here and you didn't follow, so if you were here and you didn't follow, you can actually see here. You can see this. This is Google Colab. This is how to spell it. You can pick this name and go to your browser just the way I did. Okay. Just the way I did. Type Google Colab and search. Once you search for Google Colab, go to the very first link. You will see welcome to Google, welcome to Colab. So this is Google's um this is Google's runtime. This is provided by Google. It's a free runtime that Google has provided for everyone. You can be able to use this for anything you want to do. You can use it for manipulating your data and things like that, even though you have limited resources, but at least something has been provided for you. So go here and what I will advise is first of all, download, go to your, if you already have this link, go to your, and this is what we are trying to say, you can open, you can open Python, that's Jupyter Notebook, in any environment. So Solomon, what you are seeing there, you can download it. It's possible. Download it. If you can, you can download it. And then once you put in the right environment, all those things you are seeing there, they will not appear. You will see the right cells. Everything will appear the way it's supposed to be. So I would advise you to go ahead and download that file. And I think maybe I should do it here. Maybe that's going to be much easier for everyone. So I think I'm trying to figure out that the link that was sent to us to download that. I don't think it's this one, and I don't think, okay, I will try to go there. I'll go pick the link and then I'll show you what to do. So if I were you, this is what I would do. You already have the notebook here in the comment box. You have it here. You can download it. Go ahead and download it if you are using a laptop. I believe most of you are using. If you're not using, okay, you can download from the link. But if you're using, just download it from here. Look at it. And then you can go ahead. Let's see. I think this is the right link. I should. If you want to do it by yourself, go pick the link and search for that link. You see? Oh, that's a different thing. But I think I'll find it quick. Maybe this one. Let's see. I'm picking the wrong links. um, okay, someone can share the link with me. Just you can drop it there, the right link for the. I think I do have it here as well. I can pick it from here. Okay, already have it. So you go here and search for this. So this is what Solomon saw, and he was afraid that, oh, this is like, it doesn't look, it's not readable. So this is how it's going to look. Why? Because this is not the environment you're going to read it. But you see, open in Google Colab. If I were you, I would just click on this because you already have Google. If you have Google account, if you have a Gmail account, you already have this. Go ahead and click here. And you see, this is not going to appear that way. This is going to appear this way. And this is the environment that you are supposed to be in, you are supposed to be working in. So, but I'll go back. I don't want to do that. I want to take you to like the baby steps. But if I were you, the shortcut is pick that link, go to your Google, put it there, and click on this link. It's going to take you to where I'm going to take like many steps to get to. And you are right there. But if you want to take the long step, you can go here, still the same thing. I think where to download. This is where to download, right? Right here. Download it. It's already downloaded. If you go to my local computer, you will find it. I think I already downloaded the first version. So I think I have to now. So I'll go back. I've already downloaded this. So I will go back to my Google Colab. Remember, I've already Googled Google Colab. I will click on this link. And then it takes me here. I can cancel this here. Just cancel so that your eyes will be clear. And then if you want to open that Jupyter notebook, because Google has provided us, we're already in Google Colab. So this is what Google has provided to us to be able to work with Python, with Jupyter notebooks without having to install it locally on our computers. So you can go here and okay, so if you actually want to upload the notebook and run it here, go to this place where you have files. This is where, click on those files. You find out that you don't have anything here, or maybe you have sample, just a sample file, which is not a real file, it's just a sample that's been provided, sample data, which is from Google. So what you want to do is you want to upload that that Jupyter notebook so you can be able to open it here. This is a long way. So you can be able to upload it from here. Click here and go to here. You can see the notebooks I downloaded. They're all here. This is the one I downloaded earlier. Now I've uploaded it here. It's asking ensure your files are saved elsewhere. This runtime's files will be deleted when this runtime is terminated. So this is going to be deleted. Why? Because this is on Google's runtime. Google, because the storage space is going to be big and things like that from millions of people. So they usually clear this space so that other people can use it as well, because they are providing this for free. So you can go here for the sake of this class. Go here, you find the file is already here. Double click on it. If you double click on it, you will see it has opened. Let's see. Why is it like this? Okay, let's see. Maybe I downloaded the wrong file or something. Is this Jupyter Notebook at all? Let me see. Rename. Let me see if it's a Jupyter Notebook. Okay, it's a notebook. But where is the open? Doesn't look like what I'm looking for. In the morning it wasn't like this. Why is it like this? Because it's not the environment you are looking for. Anything wrong? Experts, we need you here. Something is wrong. This is not how it's supposed to appear. Did I do anything wrong? Um, let's see. Oh, this is another thing I would do. If it gives me that problem, what I can do is this. I will go back. I have another way. I will still go back here, click here. While I'm here, I will not cancel this. I will go to uploads. So there are many ways to, to solve a problem. So I'll go to uploads. I'll click on upload, and then I'll upload it from here. I'll not go because that was giving me some little problem, which is not what I was expecting. In the morning, it doesn't solve up. Well, I'm not, it just gave us that error. So this is another short way you would do. And I don't think this is going to give us that error. So click here and upload the same file. You see? Opened. So that is opened.
Some of you
please, the instructors and the TAs, as much as possible, if you need to drop some persons, please do that so we are not interrupted. So we've done that. If you follow, put a plus. If you don't follow, put a minus. If you were not able to install this before, if you're not able to use Google Colab before and you are able to use it now, put a plus. If you are still behind, put a minus. If you are still unable to use this Google Colab, put a minus. Minus, we have one minus. We have a lot of plus. That means almost 99.9% of the people are following and they've already gotten the Google Colab. All right, if you don't follow, now I've shown you the easiest way to do it. You have this link, you have your Google. So it doesn't hurt. Just get a link and go to this link, click on the link that was sent to you. And I think the link is still there. I'll put it in the comment box. Okay, I'm gonna put a link there. This is the link, it's in the comment box. Click on that link, and that link is gonna take you to here. You are going to be here. Let me know if you are there. For the few that are yet to get it. So once you are there, if you're using Google, you're already signed in. You see, I've already signed in, and then you can just go ahead instead of going to search for Google Colab and all that. Ignore all those steps. They are all long steps, and you want to do something that is very short. I don't want to go through the whole of like the other processes. I just want to do something that can take me to my destination. So this is it. Look at the sign of Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab. Click on this. You see, this is opening. And this is the right environment that you need. This is what Peter needs for you to be able to run this, or for you to be able to walk you through. So once you are here, you are good. Another option, there are many options. We have a lot of options. We have a lot of options because this is already saved in your, if I go to my Google Drive, because you've already opened this is already your Google Drive. So you see, because I opened that, it's already in my Google Drive. Look at my Google Drive here. This is my Google Drive. And I have this notebook here. This is it. Because this is connected with Google. Once you go to your Google Drive, for those who didn't get it, go to your Google Drive. If you can sign into your Google Drive, it means you can go to Google Colab. This is another route. Once you go here, double click on this. You don't need to do any other thing because this is provided by Google. So once you go to your Google Drive and you click on that, if you open it, if you've opened the link, it means it's automatically in your Google Drive. Once you go to your Google Drive, you double click on it, you're already in that environment that we need it to be. If you follow, put a plus. If you don't follow, put a minus. If you've gotten it now, put a plus. Those that didn't get it, if you've gotten it now, put a plus. If you still don't get it, put a minus. Then let's take the last step. Then I will hand you over to the Bro Peter to take over. Plus, plus, plus. We have a lot of plus. It means we have more numbers now. More numbers, more numbers. Almost 100%. All right? All right, so one more thing before I hand over to him. Now, if by all means you're not able to open this file in your browser, you can go back to Anaconda. And I demoed this in the morning. You just go to your browser and type Anaconda. Okay, I have to get this thing down. Anaconda Python coding. We're tapping. We typed Anaconda and we were seeing snakes. I don't want you to see any snake, and so now I'm tapping Anaconda Python coding. So this is telling the search engine to go to coding something. So if you type Anaconda Python coding, if you don't know how to spell that, you know Anaconda is a snake, Python is a snake. Go back to my notes, go back to my PPTX, and you will see Anaconda somewhere here, over here. Anaconda. We have Anaconda over here. You know Python. Python is over here. You should see Python. And you should see coding. Coding is very easy, so I don't think I need to spell that. Once you are there, I believe you are there. So I'll take you back to where I was. And I think I was here. So once you search for that, the last step, once you search for that, you will see getting Anaconda started with Anaconda. Click on this, getting started with Anaconda. Once you click on that, go to this place, the home, go to this place and click on it. Click on getting started with Anaconda. Or probably, maybe this is not the right place. Maybe this is for downloading packages, I don't know. Maybe not the right link. Let's take a step back and see. All right, let's go down a little bit. All right, that's not the right link. So I made a mistake. This is for installation. So let's get this link, Python Anaconda. Go down a little bit, and I'm going to copy this link as well, and I'm going to put this link in the comment box. So this is in the comment box. So this is your last chance to get it. And once you click on this link, it's going to take you here. This is provided to you by Anaconda, and we want you to be able to open that Jupyter notebook. That's all we're trying to do. Reject all. So now you can sign in. We want you to sign into Anaconda. So you can, if you've not signed up, click on sign up. Click on sign up, and you can sign up with your Google. Sign up with your Google account. But for me, you remember in the morning, I went with my GitHub. Sometimes I don't like using my Google, but for you, you can use your Google. If you have GitHub, feel free to use it. But it's much easier for you to sign in with your Google account. That's your Gmail account. Or it could be any of the emails you have. I'm going to sign in with my GitHub while you sign in with something else with your Google account. So this is my my GitHub, which we asked you to also create a GitHub, sign up for a GitHub account. If you have it, you may decide to use it. Otherwise, the easiest way is go with Google account. And I'm signing in. I'm trying to sign in, and they're asking me for authorization. I think I don't have it. So okay, I already have it. They're asking, what are they asking? A new user experience. Save username. Okay, Anaconda temps that. All right, it's already signed me in. I don't need to save any other thing. Welcome Joseph. That I can cancel this. So once you are here, go here and click on this link. You see? Or I can go back and show you. So once you're here, you've already signed up. If you didn't get it and you are trying to get it through Anaconda, and you've opened Anaconda and you are where I am, type a plus. If you've already gotten through Google Colab, don't type a plus or minus. yours is already settled. It's for those who didn't get it. I think someone put minus. If you've gotten it now, put a plus or put a minus. If you are where I am, put a plus or minus, so I know you are there and you are getting it. So you signed up. I'm seeing all plus. So you've signed up. Now go here, go over here. Look at Anaconda top right corner. Click on this Anaconda so it take you home. Once it takes you home, you're right here. And if I were you, and it should be for all of us, don't accept all. I always reject all. And you should learn that from me as well. So now I'm here. This is my name. This is my account. I've signed in with where is my GitHub? But you see my GitHub is my email account, which I use. So you see everything there. You should be here. Once you are here, go to notebooks. You have Jupyter notebooks. This is the only thing we need you to use. We don't need any of these other ones. Any of these, we don't need them. We need only this. We need only this. So click on this Jupyter notebooks. If you are there, put a plus. That's if you are still struggling. If you are where I am, put a plus. If you are not there, put a minus. Plus, 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 plus. Plus, plus, plus. Right. So let's go back here. Click on this. Double click on it. Double click on it. It's going to see it's loading. You already signed in as Joseph. And then it's going to take me to the Jupyter Notebook environment. The same thing, the same place. We just want to see the same environment where you can be able to play around. You see, this is loading. The same place. It has opened this file. Why? Because I was here before. But for you, I'm going to start from the scratch. So I'm going to delete everything here. I will assume nothing exists. I don't have any file here. Even though I have some files I uploaded here, I'm going to delete them. Because I demoed this 6 hours ago. I'm going to delete this file so I can show you. Well, and then you can be able to do it. So I'm going to delete all these files. And our TAs and instructors and our leaders, please ensure that people are muted. It's kind of distracting, so we don't get distracted. And as much as possible, if you're muting people and people unmuting themselves, feel free to, because this is really distracting. They were communicated before now, so you can go ahead and drop them. Maybe they will learn, and maybe tomorrow they will not distract us, because we've been doing that over and over. We send an email after the first session. So yeah, so this is where we are. So now we're right here, and now that we have to work with the Jupyter Notebook, you are right here. This is where it's supposed to take you. And for you to be able to upload that Jupyter Notebook, go to these files. Go here. I believe you are here. If you are here, put a plus. If you're not there, put a minus. Let me know where you are. Whether we're on the same page, put a plus. If you're still struggling, if you are where I am, okay, all right. Some are just joining, so I don't know. All right, so, well, I will keep going. And if you have a particular challenge and you want to raise your hand and ask, I will give you that room 1 to 2 minutes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, go ahead and ask.
Sorry, my question will be a little bit different. I'm sorry.
Oh, we want to take questions on this for now, so we can hand over. If it's something, is it something that is connected with any of the IDs?
No.
All right, so let's take questions on this.
Okay.
We'll still take more questions after this session.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, sir. I want to ask, I've already installed an Anaconda package on my laptop. So can I be able to make use of that?
Right, go ahead. Go ahead. This is like a long route. So we want to demo this tomorrow. You can see I have my local computer here. I have Jupyter Notebook. If I just launch it, we don't want to take too long. We just want people to be able to use it on the browsers. So we can do this probably tomorrow when we have more time in our hands. So if you have it, you see the same thing. You can see I'm trying to launch Jupyter Notebook because for me, I have everything installed, so I can launch it. Just Jupyter Notebook. You see, it's opening. Everything opens, and I'm right there in the same environment. And now I can see, I can go to my downloads where I downloaded the file, and then I can open it from here. And I'm right there. You've already installed it on your local computer. This is where you should be. So there are many ways to get to this place. So for now, we are showing, yeah, for you is answered. So I want to attend to those who are using Anaconda. If you're using Anaconda and you want to ask a question, go ahead and ask. If you're not where I am, let me just get you out of that place so that you can be able to.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I encountered a challenge and I screenshot and sent to drop in the comment box.
Okay, so let me see.
When I tried to kind of upload the file, I encountered this.
All right. Let me see.
Because
Yeah,
I don't have the
so
download.
now you
Okay.
see where you are. Can you see hide these tips? Hide these tips. That small something beneath text. You can hide it. Otherwise, your screen is going to be blank. Hide these tips. You can see try out here, right here. Try out the Anaconda 2 box. Then try to hide this. You don't need this. Hide this particular spot. Then this will go, and you will be able to see the same screen where I am. You will be able to see this space. Are you there? Have you gotten it now? Let me know. I may be fast, but cancel that because you don't need that. It's just one click and it goes. Are you there?
Okay, it's loading.
Okay, all right. So now once you are there, go to here, go to this file, and then upload this notebook. It's very fast. You can just upload it from your local computer. I already have it here downloaded. Just upload this, and then you can double click on it, and it opens here. It will ask you about the environment. I've opened some environments. You can select anyone. Just select anyone, maybe AI stuff. And then for here, you can go here. Yes, you are above 13. And because of this, or I can decide to cancel this as well. I think there's a way to cancel this, but maybe it's gonna ask me I'm 13 or something. There should be a way to get this thing out of my way. Okay, I can expand it, I think. Off. Okay. It's okay. It's not a distraction to me. So at least I have my Python environment, which is here. So if you are there and you've gotten this, put a plus. If you are not there, put a minus. And Steven, if you are there, put a plus. If you are not there, put a minus. Let's know where you are. I think from that's the end. That's the end of what I have to share. But let me see. We still have some few minus. We still have some few minus.
And just repeat the process of starting to get uploading the notebook.
All right, so for the notebook, you go back here, and I'm gonna delete this one. I can even delete the whole of this. Let me go back. I can just delete the whole of this, and you see I'm here. If you are here, this is where you are supposed to be, and I asked you to just click on Jupyter Notebook, double click on it. It's gonna take you to. You see, it's loading. This is what should be loading. And then you are able to go to this place. But again, I'm going to delete this since you say I should show you how I got this uploaded. I'm going to delete this again the second time. So now once you're here, go to this place where you have file manager. This file. Go to this file. And then it opens this spot, this place. See upload. It's very easy. Just over there. upload files. Once you click on this, you can upload that file, that notebook, that Python notebook, or this ending is Python. It's Python notebook. So you upload this here because this is the environment where you can be able to play around it. So because of time, I'm going to be handing over back to Peter to take over. But a few of you that are not able to do it, I will continue to chat with you in the comment box, and then I'll get it fixed before you will join. And also feel free to ask questions after here, and also on Telegram, and we'll be able to answer all your questions. So you double click here and you open this place. Then you select your kernel. You can select any of this.
I
Select
got
any
it
of
now.
this.
Thank you.
Right? That's nice. So and
Yes,
then
I got it.
you
Thank you.
great. So you do that and that's it. And you are able to work within this environment. So Bro Peter, I'll hand over to you to continue with the hands-on skills, hands-on section. Thank you. Have I stopped sharing? Okay. Let me see. I think I'm still sharing.
All right, thank you very much for the detailed guide.
Hey,
And I think by
Jesus.
that guide, many people are on the platform now, which is a very important step to take. I think if we have achieved that today, we know that we'll not have this struggle subsequently. So I think it's worth the time. Whatever we can do with the remaining time, we try to do that. And we hope that we'll have another time tomorrow to be able to cover, because I understand that some of us are not used to these terms. You are not familiar with what we are doing. We are taking time. I'm trying not to rush. So I'm tempted to rush now, but I think I should not rush beyond reasonable, beyond reasonable limits. Okay, so let's go on with our hands on. Let me share my screen from here. This is where we were before we left. And we're going to be taking from here forward. All right, so I was able to find the picture of the slicing that I was trying to the indexing that I was trying to show us. So I think we start from there before we go to our notebook, our Google Colab notebook for the hands-on section. I think it's very important for us to understand these things in the theory section before we get there so that it will be much easier for us. Okay, so I think this is becoming distracting. So this is how variables operate. In fact, the first thing we are going to be dealing with in the hands-on section is a variable. So we can even start from here. This is a name. This name is a variable and it is being passed a string value into the name variable. The name here is John and it's being saved in the name variable. This name equal to John is a way of declaring a variable. So when you do this, by this equal to sign, the name John is being saved in this variable you have declared name. You have it's like you have created a saving location where you want to keep this name John. So this John has entered the name variable. So when it is entered, there are memory locations that are located to the string. It is a string because I told us before that every data type that is enclosed with inverted commas, you see that it's a string. So this John is having double inverted commas over it. So it is being saved in this name, and memory locations are allocated to each of the characters that makes up this name. And that is what we call the index. Every name, every of them has an index assigned to them. So this J is assigned the 0 index, and O is assigned 1, H is assigned 2, N is assigned 3 based on the position they appear in this name. So the first one, J, is 0. The indexing assignment starts from 0 to the last. And there are 4 characters here, but the indexing, because it starts from 0, it goes and stops at 3. And it can also be reversed. When it is reversed, it starts from negative, and it starts from -1 because there is no -0. So it starts from -1, 2, 3, 4. So it assigns this way. So you can reference this J by the positive index above or by the negative index below. You can still get this value J because it is assigned to a same index in the memory location. I think that is clear enough. Let's move forward now. Is there any confusion with that? Let me not just assume that everything is all
No,
right. Okay,
no.
it's okay. So those of us that successfully opened the notebook, I believe we are here. Are we all here? Can I hear your response? Hello?
Maybe they can put in
Yes,
the
we are there.
comments.
Yes, we are there.
Okay, it's all right. So we spoke about data types before. And this is a picture again to further illustrate what data types are. See Python data types. We have the primitive and containers. And the primitive section, we have integers, which is int, which is written as int. We have floats. And in the other one, it was more detailed. So we had the complex aspect as well. In that one, you can remember it was divided into numbers, and number was divided into integer, float, and int. And then we have Boolean data type, which is true or false, outputs in true or false, and then none, then data type string, which we said is being enclosed with inverted commas above. Then we have the containers aspect, which is list, tuple, and dictionary. If you were in the money section, and even if you have started with us earlier, you must have heard these names over and over and over because it's deliberate. We intend that by hearing and hearing, they will get into you and you will get conversant with them as well. So this is going to cover following topic: storing information using variables. That is the first thing we are going to be covering in this. And then the primitive data type in Python, that is integer, float, boolean, non-string, building data structure in Python, list, tuple, and dictionary. Then methods, operators, supported by built-in data. I'm glad we all have this. By this little introduction we are going to get, I'm sure you will go on practicing after here. The codes are there written and they are quite explicit. You can try your hands on them. So storing information using variables. Like I say, a variable is a storage location where you keep your data, you store your data for manipulation. So you can think of variables as containers for storing data. Data stored within a variable is called int value. So creating variables in Python is pretty easy, as we have already seen in the previous picture I even showed us. We can also see that here. This is a variable, my favorite color. This is a variable that is declared, and what is being passed into this variable is what? Blue. So it means my favorite color is blue. Blue is being passed into this variable. So this is just how you declare a variable, and this equal sign here is called an assignment operator. It is the one that tells Python that the programmer want to take this blue and put it inside this place. So once you have assigned this blue to this container, it is being saved here. Anytime you call this my favorite color, blue is going to show up. Can we run that and see? So the way Google Colab, sorry, I didn't have much time, so I didn't take time to explain the environment. But what we can easily get to know is how to run the codes. So you're going to be getting used to them as we use it. This is where you run the codes. If I click on this play button, it's going to run the code, and it will run and give me a value. It will return a value, and the value is what is saved in this variable. Okay, I can click here. That's run. This is once that's shown time here, you know that it has initiated, that has been initiated. So I will now call this variable down. This variable has received blue and is inside. So anytime I call this variable, let's see what will come out. Okay, so it has produced blue here. This is the code line where we are going to be seeing our output. It's like a terminal that Google Colab has made available. So with this, you don't need to go elsewhere to see your output. The output is displayed below, even on the same, just below the code line that you are running it. So that is how it operates. This is a very typical example of how to declare and how to call a variable. When you call it, what has been passed in it shows up. Okay, so storing information using variable, that is what I've just explained. So while working on a programming language such as Python, data is stored in variables. You can think of variables as containers for storing data. I think we have said that. A variable is created using assignment statement. It begins with, you declare it with a name. It begins with a variable name followed by the assignment operator, which is equal to that I told us. In this case, assignment operator is the equal to here, followed by the value to be stored within the variable. Note that the assignment operator is different from the equality comparison operator. I earlier told us that when in Python, this is an assignment operator, it's not just equal to. When you want to write an equality sign, which is for comparison, you write two equal to sign. That is what Python recognizes as equal to. If you write one, it's an assignment operator. You must also assign values to multiple variables in a single statement by separating the variable names by values with commas. So this is a quick way of declaring a variable. You can declare 3 variables at a time, separated by commas, and pass in 3 values. So the first one enters the first one, the second value enters the second variable, the third value enters the third variable. So let's call these variables down here and run them and see what is being passed into them. We first of all run color 1. Color 1 is supposed to be what?
Red.
Red. All right, thank you. So when we call color 1 here, let's see what will come out. So red is what is showing here, which means this first value is being passed to this first variable. This second one here, let's go ahead and run all of them. Okay, I've run 2. You can go ahead and run the third. I'm sure someone has done that already. So you can assign the same value to multiple variables by chaining multiple assignment operators within a single statement. Okay, you say this color 4 is equal to color 5. Color 5 is also equal to color 6, and all of them are going to store magenta. All the colors are having magenta. So instead of separating them, saying color 1 equal to magenta, color 2 equal to magenta, color 5 equal to magenta, color 6 equal to magenta, you can save yourself the stress of doing them singly. You can chain them like this. This is what we call chained operators. Then you pass the same value into it. And if you try to run each of them, they are going to show the same value. Okay, let's instantiate this and run it. When you are running, make sure you first run the variable part. That is where it gets instantiated before you can call it below. Magenta, if you run this, you see magenta. And if you run color 6, you still see magenta. Okay, so you can change the value stored within a variable by assigning a new value to it. That is what we are going to look at it here. Okay, here we already have this variable, my favorite color to be red. Maybe you don't like red again. So you can reassign another value to the variable. So, and you have to be careful because for many people that are beginners in programming, you have, most times people have a habit of just writing x equal to this, x equal to this. They just get accustomed to a particular name. So they will declare the variable above, but they will still not know. They will still come and declare the same variable again below. So that is called reassignment. What you stored in the previous, what you stored here before. If I store red and I come and declare the same my favorite color, and I put, like up it was blue. Can we go back a bit to see what my favorite color was keeping? This is it. My favorite color here was blue. And coming down, you see my favorite color is red. Trying to get ahead, trying to get back to my favorite color. Okay, so down here it has been assigned red. So anytime you call my favorite color, it's not blue that is going to come out now. Up there it was blue. Let's instantiate it and run it. You will see that this is red. Red will come out because this is the new value that have been passed in my favorite color. Maybe you are not certain about your color. You keep changing your mind that no, blue is no more my favorite color. You want red. So you don't expect to call my favorite color and blue will show up now, because that is what is called reassignment. You have reassigned a new value to the variable. And sometimes one may do that unintentionally, and they wonder why each time they call a variable, a different thing comes up. Maybe unknowingly, maybe unknowingly, you reassigned it and you never knew. So when you assign a new value to a variable, the old value is lost and no longer accessible. You must take note of that. So while you're assigning a variable, you can also use the variable's previous value to compute the new value. So this is very handy when you are when you are programming what keeps adding. Maybe you are what data that is constantly coming. You are declare a variable, it starts with the initial value, but as new data adds, the same variable takes on the new, keeps increasing. So that is possible. You can use, okay, here is counter is equal to 10. And if you call counter, you have what? Okay, let me instantiate it. This is count in this variable is 10. So when you run it, you are expected to see the network is fluctuating now. It's no more steady. Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. I think
Yes, sir.
hear you.
My network is the one giving me issues.
All right, we can hear you.
Uh,
Maybe you can continue from now. Okay, we can see it's quite slow.
yes, it's very slow.
All right, it's okay. You can.
But has anyone run the code? Have you run it at your end? Any witness that has run it and it worked? Or you're having the same issues with me?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, can hear you.
Okay, but the challenge I'm having from my end is that I can't see the play or they run the symbol or icon. The one before the colors. I can't see it in my notes book.
All right, you can't just see it. When you hover over the code section, the play button appears automatically.
I can't see the play button in my own.
All right, it's
That's the
okay.
thing.
So, can I quickly show them something?
Maybe you are not connected.
Oh,
Like
so I
mine,
think they are using different IDEs, right? Even the browser-based ones.
It's the same
So
issue
okay.
I'm having.
yes, so let me quickly go back and demo. I can demo that quickly,
All right.
and then you continue. So if you are using Google Colab, you don't have any issue. I think let me just prepare my this slides before I go there quickly. All right. And that's one of the things I forgot to show you before I exited this place. So you're right here, and if you're using this, let me go here. If you're using this Anaconda, this is how you run the code. This is a notebook you're running, and here you have, if you click on this, you see you have Markdown, you have code, you have raw. The code are the cells that runs the codes. Those are the cells he's running the codes. If you double click on this, you see it gives you this, and this is a Markdown. Markdown means it's text. It's text. And if you want to increase this maybe to 3, it means it's going to be smaller. If you leave it to 1, it's going to be bigger. So this is the Markdown. So I just want to show you this, that we have not every of this is a cell. Not all of these cells are coding cells. Some are for Markdown. Some are raw. Maybe I don't think there's any raw here. There's no raw. Raw is just like raw typing of kind of thing. So, but I don't think there's any raw. It's just Markdown and the cells. That's the coding cells. So for most of these ones, you see, you have is either the code or you have the Markdown. And how you do it is, if I want to, for instance, if I want to add a cell below this, I can click on this add. I can add as many as I want. You see, I'm clicking on this add and I'm adding more cells. So if I want to convert this is a coding cell. If I want to convert this, okay, this, let me say this is like maybe 1 plus 1. Now how do I run this? So if you're using, now you see, you can't see what that's what do they call where he was able to run it. Click and run it. Why? Because we're using a different IDE. So how you can run this code is, if you're using Windows, you say Control Enter. So on your laptop, you first of all, you must be in this cell, and then you click on Control Enter if you're using Windows. If you're using Mac, it's Command Enter. I click on Command Enter, and you see that. If I double click on this and I want to run this cell, I'll click on Command Enter if I'm using Mac operating system. But if I'm using Windows, it's going to be Control Enter. And I think the same thing applies to Ubuntu Linux. It's been a while I used my Ubuntu Linux, but I think it's still the same thing. So if you've done that and your cell works, if you're using this Anaconda environment, let me know. If it works, put a plus. If it doesn't work, put a minus, so I get to know how your cell was able to run or not. Put a plus or minus. Shift enter is to run many cells. If you do shift enter, you want to run many cells. So that's like for instance, if I want to go back here, let me go back here. If I want to like run many cells here, I can do shift enter. You see, it's going. This is for many, to be able to run many cells, but just doing it one after the other, you can just run it as Command Enter. There's something about this. All right, so if that worked for you, type a plus. Okay, we have some plus. And if you have a question, you can raise up your hand quickly and ask. Otherwise, I think I'll move to the next. I have open the IDE. So, okay, that works for a lot of people. Shift enter, Command Enter. Okay, so now I'm going to leave this environment. I've shown you how to run it. And another way to run this is you can come here. You see, my cursor is here. I can run it here as well. You see, if you put a cursor here, it reads run this cell and advance. So you can run this cell by just coming here and clicking this. And you see, it has run. I'm in the next cell. So this is I won't want to interrupt the kernel. So don't run this one. This one you interrupt the kernel, and you have to start from the back. And sometimes you run some cells and you save them, or maybe you've imported some libraries, and you are going ahead. And if you interrupt it, it means you are going to go back to start from the beginning, from the very first cell. So this is another way. If this is difficult for you, which is very easy, but you can also run it here. Just if you want to run this one, click on this, ensure your cursor is there, and then go here, this arrow that is pointing on this forward arrow, and then click on it, and the cell runs. This is for this, and then I'll go back to also, I think he's using Google Colab. So I'll go back to those who are using their local computers. Okay, I think I launched this, but I ended up canceling this. So I'm going to get this off. And I'm going to run this Jupyter Notebook. For those who are using their local computers, this is how it's going to look like. You open this, and let's say I want to run, okay, under downloads. Okay, under downloads, I should have that notebook. Where is the latest notebooks? I think they are here. I can click on this. Now, how do you run this? It's still the same thing. Nothing. It's still the same thing. You have to double click on this and Command Enter, and you do the same thing if you're using Windows. If you want to run with this cell, you can. I mean, if you want to run over here, you can do it, and the cell runs. And you see, the more I click, everything it does like Shift Enter if you want to run it this way. So I think those are the only ones. If you have a question, if you follow, put a plus. If you don't follow, put a minus. If you have an issue running your cell, put a minus, and then I'll hand it back to him.
Just a quick one, because there's that drop down with the code and markdown. What's the difference? Because this one I can see this markdown code.
Okay, so Emeritus, okay, what can you say that again, because I didn't follow? Did you say
Drop down,
your cell
that
broke?
drop down with the change of, you can change to code or you do markdown. What's the difference? The one that you were initially showing us before you start the running.
Oh, okay, the
Before you run.
difference between the markdown and the code.
Yeah.
All right, so what I said earlier was if you double click on this, you see it's taking me to here where you can type. This is just to comment, like maybe you want to start a different section here, like here. You see, before he started talking about all this, he first introduced it. So this is very important in notebooks because you want to first introduce something. So like right from the beginning, you see, you want to start talking about this. This cell is not run. Let me run it. So you see, he started from this overview. So, and this is not coding, right? So you want to have something that people can be able to read, readable. And the only readable format is the markdown. So you can have that in a markdown format. And if you double click here, you see it's reading markdown. Markdown because people should be able to read it. People should be able to, it's very clean. You can see if you run this, it's very clean. People can be able to read this. And these are just preambles to really go into what you actually want to run. So if we are able to run those cells and people can be able to read it, that's good. And then if you go to the coding cells, you can choose a code. That's if you want to run a code, it only works with this. But also here, you can also have a comment. If you want to put a comment here, you can put an hash and then you can type, this is, please, let's stay muted. It's really distracting. So you can actually make a comment here, like maybe something like favorite colors, maybe something like that. Like you see, and when you run this this is gonna run because why? You've already put this hash, and this is making this. It will make this it's not gonna it's gonna run, but this is it's not going to interrupt your code because this is just a comment. You're only commenting, and but if you remove this and you run this, it's going to throw an error. So why? Because this is not this is not code. It's not a code. So it's just a plain text, and you are just running it without anything. It means it's going to throw up an error, syntax error. But once you put this here, it's going to run and it's going to be run well. So that's the difference, and I think I'll hand over to him so he can continue. If you have questions, that will be in the comment box. You have TAs in the comment box. They'll be answering your questions, and we'll be able to move on. Thank you. So you can take over.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for the great explanation. I'm sure many of us have gotten it better now. I understand how frustrating it can be when you can't run the course. I really want every one of us to be following the hands-on session as we are going, because even if you are able to run the course, even if we don't exhaust everything on here on this platform, you'll be able to go back on your own and do it. Actually, we intend that this should be a study material that you can use even after the training. That is why we are sharing with you so that it will be a resource material for you. So it is very important for us to be able to run it. All right. So those of us that have not yet succeeded, we hope that God will help us. With time, you get over it. Hopefully before tomorrow. And as we keep dropping in the comment section, more attention will be given to you. So, all right. So, but if you can find your way around the play button, any cell you place if you can look for the play button, it's quite easy to do it. All right. So, thank God I'm back and it's working now. So, this is a variable, and the variable name is counter. Is counting for me. So counter is set to be, the initial value I set here is 10. So it's saved in the counter. So if I call the counter here, what will come out? The value that have been passed into it should come out. So it's not working normally. Let me refresh, because it's giving me the value of the last counter. That is what is happening there. So, since I was able to come back online, I was able to run from here to here. So, it's the value of the last counter that is showing me. It's not this 10. So, let me instantiate the counter now and run it. So, 10 have been passed into this counter. If I come here now, call counter, is the value 10 that will come out, because that is what have been saved in this counter. Okay, so I want to increase my counter. Maybe you are having a store, you brought in 10 items, but you later brought in more items. So here we are changing the value of the counter. You pass 10. You pass now 11 into the counter. That means if you call it, this 10 will not show up again. It's 11. That is a new value of the counter. So let's run this. It has passed. When you run it, this is what is passed into the variable. The new value have been reassigned. So let's call the counter. Now what we are trying to do is reassigning a variable and also passing a new value using the previous variable. So here this counter is 11, but you are defining another variable by the same name and you are referencing this counter here. This is the counter that is here. And then you are adding 1 to it. You want to add 1 to the value that is here. Here is what? 11 that is in this counter. So coming down, we declare counter again. We want to increase the value of the counter, but we don't want to discard the value that is already inside. I want to add 1 to the previous one. So we call counter down and add 1 to it and save in counter. So the new value of counter now will be what? If I ask a question, you can put the answer in the comment section and I will check that out. All right, I can see that. Can see that we are following. So the value of this counter now is no. Okay, so it's supposed to be 12. Let me initiate, let me reinitiate it again because I went and ran the code below. So it picking the value of the counter below to show me. So this is 10. It's bringing out 10. So we reassign it to be 11 and we call it and add 1 to it. This will be, the output is 12. So I saw some people wrote 12, which means they are following very well. And that is very good. Okay, so let's go ahead. That is that for reassignment. Any value, any new value you put into the variable with the same name, it takes on that new value. So down here, coming down here, this is counter equal to 10. Counter has been set to counter plus 4. Counter plus 4. This is where this is now what we're talking about as an expression. And it's returning a value into this and the value it returns is being saved as the new value of this counter. So this variable is taking on the value from this expression. We define that this is 10. Counter is equal to 10. Then we can run counter plus 4. That is 10 plus 4. That is what? 10 plus 4. We are expected to get the new value of counter to be 14 because here is 10 plus 4. That is 14. Okay, so this is the same as counter is equal to counter plus 4. This is a short way of writing it. Counter is equal to counter plus 4. Then you call counter. All right, so there is a way you can use an augmented assignment operator. The terms I was calling before are coming out to play in practical. This is counter is equal to counter plus 4. There is a way you can write it in a more shorter and cleaner way. And one of the good qualities of a good programmer is for you to maintain clean code. You try to make everything short. What others write in 10 lines, you can make it 2 or 3 lines. That shows high professionalism. So maintaining clean code is very good. So this instead of saying counter is equal to counter plus 4, you can equally say counter plus equal to 4. This means the new value of counter, you add 4 to it and save it in counter. So this is called augmented assignment operator. So when you do that, let's say counter here is what? The value of counter is 14. Because from here 10 plus 4 plus 14. So it's still coming with 14. So now we say counter plus equal to 4. So we are adding, we say counter that has 14 should add 4 to it and save in a counter. So the new value of counter will now be what?
There are two different
18.
variables. Two.
You say?
There's two different variables there. The one is small. The other one is a small letter, and the other one is a capital letter.
Okay. Let me check
Yes,
that.
yes, you are calling the one with capital letters. And since Python is case sensitive, I don't think it will work.
Two houses, man, in it.
All right. I've not yet seen anyone with capital. Okay. Okay. I've seen this. Okay, so this is a different thing altogether. This counter is not the same as this. So if you want to call it, you change this to lower cases because Python is case sensitive. So you don't write, declare a variable in lower cases and call it in upper cases. So when we call this one now, we expect that it works. That has been fixed. Thank you very much for your observations. I never even saw it. Okay, so that is a very good one. It shows we are following very well. And thank you those of us that are very observant. This is now the new value of counter. That is the value of 18. But you see from the beginning it was started with 10 and kept adding and adding as the coding proceeded. So that is what reassignment does, and you can use this augmented assignment operator for that. That is what we're able to prove. Writing long codes like this may sometimes even get someone confused, and typing it out all the times can be stressful. So I think this is added knowledge for us. Cannot, even if I start this counter with capital C, it will not work because it will not recognize I'm referring to this one here. So variables, Python is case sensitive actually, and that should be observed in our coding. Okay, so variable names can be short or descriptive. Variables must follow these rules while naming Python variables. So this is another critical point that makes, just like what happened there, you saw that I tried running the counter in uppercase, I never recognized what I was doing. So it is very important to be meticulous, to be careful when you are declaring your variables. Don't declare a variable in a manner you forget, or you cannot even type it accurately each time you are trying to call it. So there are some rules that guides the declaration of variables. So those are the rules we hope to quickly look at. Time is going, and we hope that wherever we are caught up, we just stop and continue the next day. So a variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. Underscore is not hyphen. Underscore is down. Usually down. Many people think underscore, they just do hyphen and they wonder why the code is not working. So it must start with an underscore or a letter. It cannot begin with a number. I know sometimes someone will think it's easy to write 2 days equal to 5,000, 3 days equal to 6,000, 7 days equal to 10,000. You will declare variable like that, starting with a number, it will not accept. Do not accept. At least you start with an underscore or a letter. That is the first rule. The second is the variable name can only contain lower case. That is small or upper case. That is capital letters. Digits or underscore. These are the conventional standard. That is lower cases from A to Z, upper cases from A to Z, then numbers from 0 to 9, and then underscore. These are the things that must be contained in a variable. Don't use asterisk or use at or use other symbols. Maybe you want to declare a variable that is very unique, so you want to start with hash. That will not be acceptable. So variable names, the third one, variable names are case sensitive, as demonstrated above there. That is a variable that is in lowercase, a variable that is starting with capital and the V capital here, and then a variable that which is all capital. All are different variables. All these three that you see here are different variables. They are not the same. Here are some valid names. These are some examples of valid names, how you can name your variable. And please try to be descriptive enough, not too long, not to make a sentence or a phrase, a long one. For instance, don't say the name of my father is equal to, then you put your father's name. You can cut it. Let it not be a sentence. And let it not be too short. Some people just say X equal to this, Y equal to this, P equal to this, and C equal to this. At the end, you yourself, you not even know what C was standing for. And as codes increase, or anyone coming to look at the code will not even understand what C is. And we are going to be talking about commenting. I don't want to jump into that because I think I know it's down. Commenting is trying to give description to your code so that anyone looking at it will be able to understand what is actually going on. If you are hired in a place you are working, when you are transferred, or when you take on a new role and someone comes to take your position, they struggle to understand your code. You just put DC equal to, you declare a variable and just say DC. You may know that DC is December, but that someone else looking at that may not know that this is December sales. So you may not, that is not descriptive enough. So you can try to give more description. Like here, this variable, you see a variable. This is a and variable. They are separated with an underscore here. So when you are having names, maybe 2 or 3 names, you separate them with underscore. You don't give space and expect that the sentence is covered. So if you must give space, you separate it with an underscore. That is the acceptable way. If not, if I remove this underscore here, this variable is not valid. This a variable equal to 23. And it's not descriptive. This is not descriptive. Say a variable. What is that variable standing for? But if you say name or full name, it's better, it's more descriptive. So, but you can separate it with an underscore, which is what we want to get here. Okay, is today Saturday equal to false? This is a Boolean this is a Boolean value that has been stored in this variable. Is today Saturday? This is quite descriptive. It's quite descriptive. And if you have a way of making it shorter and someone will still understand, that is the logic behind naming variables. Okay, my favorite car equal to this. So this value is being stored here as my favorite car. Okay, so this is all in lower cases. I separated with underscore. The names are separated with underscore. This is acceptable. The three musketeers equal to Athos, Pathos, Aramis. Okay, so these are three items that are defined here and are saved in this variable. And remember, when we're talking about data type, when you see these strong brackets, you know that it's a particular data type. Who can remind us data type that is created with strong brackets like this?
It's a list.
Oh, yes, it's a list. So this list has been saved in this variable. The list has been saved here. Okay, so you see that this 3 is a number. It's coming between the and this. If you bring 3 to start this, even if you separate it with underscore, it will not be acceptable because numbers are not supposed to start. A variable name must not start with a letter, must start with a letter or underscore. It cannot begin with a number. If you start it with hash, like this, you see that is hash is used for commenting. So immediately it assumes that I want to comment out this line. And comments means the Python interpreter will not run the code because they assume you don't want it to be run. That is actually the implication of commenting. It bypasses any line that is commented. So, and maybe you want at. You want to start the variable with at. It's not acceptable. Maybe you want to start with another, maybe a unique variable, anyone that you feel you want your variable to be unique. You must be guided by these rules that are used to declare a variable. All right, so let's move on. Let's try creating some variables with invalid names. Python prints a syntax error if your variable name is invalid. Syntax error means wrong grammar. If you type something that is not conventional in Python, it throws a syntax error, meaning that is not acceptable in this environment. Just like when you speak wrong English, you are not applaud. You are marked against. Okay, so that is what syntax error means. Then you go against them, it complains. The syntax of a programming language refers to the rules. Okay, that's what I've just explained. So let's not waste time on that. Okay, these are illegal or abnormal variables. This is 2 days equal to 555. Okay, maybe you are pricing with somebody that if you work for 1 day, they are going to pay 10,000. They will pay 10,000. But if they, okay, maybe 1 day is 5,000, 2 days 2 days is 10,000, and you want to come and declare a variable like that, you start with 2 days. Even if you put underscore to separate 2 and days, you have gone against the rule which say a number should not start a variable. So when you run this, you will see an error message on line 1. 2 days equal to the syntax error, invalid decimal literal. So the decimal number is coming to start the variable. It is not acceptable. So but when you change this, maybe you bring the 2 inside. You say day 2 equal to 10,000, and when you run this now, it will not complain. You can let me include the code section so that we run it. This is the code. This is how you include the code section. I click here and the code section will come below. Then I write day 2. Day 2 to call it. This is what you mean you are calling. You declare a variable here. I call it down here. When I call it now, you see the value that is displayed, that is stored in it will appear down. So this is 1,000. That is day 2. So Python accepts the number coming after the letter, but not starting the name, variable naming. If I delete underscore, it will still accept as long as the 2 is not starting the line, it's starting the name, variable name. So you must put that in mind when you are declaring variables. Okay, here from the rules, who can tell me what is wrong with this variable name? This, I don't know whether the person wants to write Sonia, but this is art that is here. This is a variable name, and it is being stored in string value. Can you quickly drop in the comment section what is wrong with that variable name?
It has art, which is not good. It's not accepted in the syntax for coding.
Oh, that is good. Thank you very much. So when you see this, and when Python says that, immediately it doesn't accept that variable name. So you take note of that when you are declaring your variables. If not, you keep wondering why the thing is not working. So let's remove the at and try running it. Maybe replace it with any other letter that makes meaning. So okay, it has run. So if I include a code section and try calling it, we can see this is Sonoi. Okay. So it has passed the value down, the value that has been saved in that variable. Okay. So this is what is called debugging. This is what is called debugging. When you see error in the code and you correct them, that is what we call debugging. I'm sure you must have heard those terms before and you're wondering what on earth those things means. Actually, they sound as if it's something very big. But when you get conversant with it, you discover that it's not actually the way it sounded at first. So you, with the knowledge of creating a variable, assigning values to it, you can now debug for somebody when they have error in their code in this regard of variable creation. Okay, now let's go on to another concept of variable. Remind you, we are still talking about variables. And this is the markdown environment. You can either close it here or close it here. So this markdown, just like I was telling you about comment, makes your code readable, makes it clean, makes it quite comprehensive. If you have little knowledge about Python and you get this code, you'll be able to run it on your own. And with what we are doing now, you will be able to run this code, the rest of the code, even if you don't finish it, because of the descriptions that are coming in between. And that is one big advantage of this Google Colab. It is actually very good for beginners, because if you are using code editors that doesn't have this provision, the only provision is for you to type in your comments. You type in comments by initiating the hash. Okay, so but here you have a whole markdown section where you type your notes, you describe whatever you want, and you run your codes in the code section. So any data or information stored within a Python variable has a type. This is what we call data type. You can view the type of data stored within a variable by using the type function. The type function. That was explained in the morning. You say you use the type function or you use the is instance. And I gave that cheat sheet to people who were there in the morning section. They downloaded it and that command was on it. So how do you do that in practice? Here is a variable. My age is equal to 29. My favorite car is equal to Lamborghini. Is today Saturday? It's true, it's not true. Today is Friday, so it's not Saturday. But this is the value that have been passed into this variable. Is today Saturday is a variable. My favorite car is also a variable. The three learners, this is a list that has been stored in this variable. So we are going to be checking what is this variable, what is the data type that is stored in each of the variables that we see here. So let's start with my age. My age, who can tell me the data type that is stored in my age without checking it first? This is my age.
It's integer.
Yeah, it's an integer. It's an integer. You say integers are positive numbers, either negative or they are whole numbers, either negative or positive. So this is 29, is a whole number, doesn't have any decimal point on it. So it's an integer. So if we want to get the type of this variable, let's instantiate it first. Then we look at the type. The type is what? Okay, let's call the type here. Type my age. Look at below here, it is showing int. Can you see it here? This shows the value that is passed in my age is integer. Okay, you can do the same for the rest of the variables. To know their type, you can say type is today Saturday. That is the name of the variable. So when we first of all instantiate it, we run it here before if we call it, we answer properly. Okay, so is today Saturday is stored the true value. So if we check the data type of this variable, what are you expected to see is a Boolean data type. It's a Boolean data type because Boolean output in true or false. So if you check the type, you see that it's bool. Okay, that is not directed to me. Okay, so my favorite car. My favorite car is a variable. You can check the data type. This, I expect that as we go, we find time to practice, turn things around, play around with these things and get conversant with this. This is an easy and a soft way to begin actually. So, and I think we have understood how to check the data type of any variable. You just type and put the name of the variable in this bracket here, and then you call it. It outputs the type of the variable. Like here, if I want to check the type of the three learners, I will first of all come to where that variable is declared and run it. I will run it first before checking the data type. If you don't run it, you just try to check the type down here. It will be showing you error. Okay, I went and did a different thing. But okay, let me go and run my favorite car. Okay, my favorite car is here. Let me run it. What is going on? Okay, there's no assignment to it. My favorite car should be up. Okay, this is my favorite car. I will run it here first to initiate it. Then I'll come down. And whenever I run anyone down, it picks what has been set in the variable. Don't think that when you just write it like this, that's saved automatically. It's when you run it that it gets registered. It gets committed. That when you call it, it now works in the code. So now if I run this, you see that it will pick from there and output the Lamborghini. And this is type. Let me check the type. Run it now. It shows that it's a string. So we say strings are what? Say strings are closed with inverted commas. So Lamborghini is enclosed with inverted commas. So that makes it a string data type. So I think that is that for data type here. Let's move forward. Except someone has a question. If you have a question, you can leave it in the comment section and it will be attended to. Okay, Python has several built-in data types for storing different kinds of information in variables. The following are some commonly used data types. We have integer, we have float, we have boolean, we have none, we have string, list, tuple, and dictionaries. So an integer, by now, I'm sure we know what an integer is. Just like someone quickly responded, and it was quite impressive. He just told me straight and without thinking. I'm sure many of us that are following are grabbing these things by now. And these names have become familiar names. Integer, float, boolean, none, and string are primitive data type because they represent a single value. Other data types like list, tuple and dictionaries are often called data structures or containers because they hold multiple pieces of data together. Like was showing us, you see that a list can contain different data in it. They are different. I showed us, and let me try getting if I can still showcase it, or even here. Yes. Can you see this sequence? The sequence type, the list has A2, A 5.7. These are different mixtures. And the tuple has different mixtures like that. So they hold different values. So we have the primitive and then we have the containers. So the integer, if it's an integer, you don't go and mix it with another. If you are trying to do an operation in Python with across an integer with another data type, it doesn't work. So integer represent positive or negative whole numbers from negative infinity to infinity. Negative infinity to infinity. Sometimes they said plus infinity to minus infinity, but here we don't think there is no positive infinity. Okay. Know that integers should not include decimal point. Integers don't have decimal point. Integers have the type int. What has decimal point is float. So float or floating point number are numbers with a decimal point. These are no limit on the value or the number of integers before or after the decimal point. Floating point number have the type float. Like the value of pi, this is a constant pi. It has 3 points. This. The numbers can continue endlessly. But what matters is when you are able to spot a decimal point in the number, a series of number, you know that is a float number. So if you try to check the type of this pi, if you check the type, let's instantiate it and run it to turn out the value, and then let's check the type to show float. So I is the data type. It has the data type of pi. There, in some interview or Python quiz, they may be asking you some of these simple questions. That is why we are going elementary. They are very important for you to know, so that sometimes you think that this is a number and you are multiplying it. Sometimes you say 20 times 20, but the other 20 is having inverted commas, which makes it a string. And you are multiplying a string with an integer. It doesn't work. It will keep telling you wrong, wrong, wrong. And you will never, except you are meticulous in debugging, you will not spot it. And you become discouraged, especially as a new programmer. Know that a whole number is treated as a float. If written with a decimal point, even though the decimal point of the number is 0. I think I mentioned that earlier. Like this variable, we have a number equal to 3 points. This variable type is what? Who can tell me the variable type?
It's float.
Or is float, because there's a decimal point, even if it comes after or before. As long as you see a decimal point, it shows that it's a float data type. Okay. So just to confirm that, let's run this and see. So this is float data type. Another number is this. Another number equal to 4.0. This two is what? This 2 is float since it has 4.0. Since there's a decimal point there, it makes it float. All right, so floating point number can also be written using the scientific notation with an exponential to indicate the power of 10. So sometimes you may even see something like this, and you not see a decimal point. 100 equal to 1 exponential minus 2. Those that were from science class, they will understand what it means by having exponential with a negative index, a negative power. So that means 0.000 something. 100 also means divide by 100. So the number ends in decimals. So, but this is a unique way or a crafty way of bringing a question to you that we either want to confuse you. See this number, there's no decimal point. Why is it float? So we are learning that it's float. And if you run the data type, you see that it will show you that it's float. Okay, so let's move forward. So this is Avogadro number, and this is a number with an exponential raised to power 23. And in this case, it's not a negative index that is here. It's not a negative index. So we have 6.022. So with the exponential raised to power 23. So this kind of data type, who can tell us which data type it is? Anybody with any attempt?
It's a complex.
That is a good attempt, but you can try again.
It's still a float.
Okay.
It is a
Okay,
float.
so let's run it and see, because we are already on the context of float, and we are looking at data type that has float. Let me come up again and show us something. Floating point numbers can also be written using the scientific notation with an E to indicate the power of 10. So when you see the E, you see that this one has E, this number. You may not even mind necessarily. It has a decimal point and it has an E in it. And sometimes you calculate that the E will be eliminated, but if you run this number, this is the number that is saved in, and Python recognizes that as a float. So like this one, still having an E exponential to 2. So let's run it to see. These are things that, at least since I've done one, you can see them and understand. When you see E in it, you run the type, you will see float. So E and decimal point, not just E. Okay, because see, when they are evaluated at the end of it, look at, like this one, you think that 1 raised to power, that is 1 exponential 2 is actually 100, but look at the value it doesn't just give you 100, it doesn't return an integer, it gives a decimal point, even if it's 0. So the 0 in it, the dot 0 makes it a floating data type. So you can convert floats into integer and vice versa using the float and int functions. So, there's a scenario when most time a user enters a number, maybe in a calculator. You are designing a calculator and you are prompting a user to enter a particular number. And they will enter a number. They will enter maybe 20. And the data will be saved in a variable. And you will think since the number is maybe age, you receive from, sometimes it's saved as, a string. So it will appear like a number, but and since an input from the user, it will save in a variable as a string. So that is where you call data type. That is where data type conversion comes in handy. So before you say that age times 3, you say 20 times 3, and it's an input coming from the user times 3. It will be complaining that different data type. You wonder how this is 20 that user put in and this is 20 that you are written. Why is it not agreeing to carry out multiplication? So when you see that the 20 that is coming from the user saved in the data type, you have to convert that data type into an integer before you can carry out your operations. In this case, we are going to quickly look at data type conversions. So this is a variable current year. And if you set the value in this current year, okay, so let's see, this is current year, this is a variable that have been declared. Let me check above. It's like that has been declared above. No. Okay, the operation of converting one type of value into another is called casting. Okay, so that is the word. These words are very important. Casting. And they
Also,
say,
excuse me. Also, our time is almost running up, so maybe as we can try to draw a conclusion, if we can start from there tomorrow or wherever you stop, so we can keep the time this evening.
okay, okay. Let me quickly see something. Float monster. Ah. All right, so we are not being able to go far. We still have a lot of things to cover. We still have a lot of things to cover, but thank God we still have tomorrow. We hope that tomorrow we have less struggles because we spent much time trying to make sure everybody is on the Google collapse, but tomorrow I don't think we have such struggles. So tomorrow we hope to cover more grounds. And our target was to stop by 5 o'clock. This is already 4:50, 4:54. So I don't know if we should look at this casting before we round up or
Yes, we can go
no.
ahead.
Okay, so casting is a way, it's just like I explained, it's a way of converting another variable, another data type into another, like converting int or converting a string into another data type so that they will become the same and you can manipulate them easily. What is happening is like I'm disconnected. The Google Sheet seems not to be responding.
from my observation, it looks like the variables have not been assigned a value.
Okay, let me check that if that is the case. Okay. If they have not been assigned a value, it means they are not variables in the first instance.
Yes, they have not been assigned the value.
Yeah, so we look for, let's try to assign a value to this. Current year, this is 2026. Okay, that has taken effect. So let me get the code section that, uh, so if I type in current year here, okay, so what I've been passed in the variable has I've been able to come down. But this year now is what? Which data type is that?
Integer.
Yes, it's an integer. So want to change it into a float. Want to change it into a float. That is what we call casting. So okay, so float, there is current year. Float has added a decimal point and a zero beside. So when you type float and you put the name of the variable, the value that was an integer is casted to become float. And if I put here to be int, if I remove this one is already, this is already an integer. So I casted it by using this float. Then I put the variable into this in between these braces, and this function converts an integer to a float. So this now is a float. If you check the data type, you see that it's float. So this current year is equal to float current year. So now that it's already is here, it's showing float. If I type int here, int, it will now give me back an integer. So let me run current year, and it is now an integer. So with this code, we are able to cast from integer to float and back from float to integer. So that is what is called casting. That is changing from one data type to another. And this is important. Like I earlier said, it's important because if you have if you are to do manipulations like this one now, this is float. This is float. If I try saying times 2 and I run it, okay, so it's like the operation was successful. Let me say something. Also, it's actually okay. Let me see. It's picking the value from down here. This is where the value, the mix up is coming up. Let me clear all outputs and try running it again. Because the last time you run it, that is what it will end with. It's not actually what at this point. Since I've executed this, it's just giving me the value of the current year as integer. But what I was trying to show is, if it is an integer, it cannot. Okay, let me try converting it here. If I say float, and I run it, this is a float value. And here now, this is the last cell of execution. So that is the current value that will be stored. This is the float value that will be stored. So if wow, it's still running. Okay, let me see something. Okay, well, just looking for a way of, for restart section now, it will take a while to reboot.
Oh, since the time is almost up, if you can continue from there tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, so maybe tomorrow we'll continue from here and go on, but I'm sure with this little time of practice, we are able to do some things. The things we have been able to do, we have not done much, but you can go back and try yourself, try your hands on them, and see tomorrow, so that you don't forget. Tomorrow we'll come and continue from where we stopped today. Our time has gone, and we just have to stop here. Okay, so have a wonderful time, and God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Peter Tsaha, for wonderful and robust session. Part 2, day 1 of our data science and AI summer school. Thank you very much, sir. And to
All right,
everyone
God
who
bless.
has stayed up all until this time, you are well appreciated. I want to give room to 2 persons who have questions. Can you all hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, we can
Okay, I
hear
want to
you.
give room to 2 persons, just 2 persons who have pressing questions. I'm not saying just any question. That question has not been asked before, and it has not been mentioned in the comment section. I want to give just 2 persons, and then our instructor is going to. So I'm going to actually filter what will count for a real impactful question. So go ahead and put your question in the comment box. I'm going to draw out a very unique question if you do have a question. Anyone with a question? 30 more seconds and I'm going to draw the curtain. Okay. We're going to call it a day here.
I think there is a
Once
question in the
again, thank
comment
you.
box.
And if you check the comment section, we have the form for the attendance form for the second session or the afternoon session. Please do well to fill the form. And this counts for your score, because this is an actual session where at the end of this entire training, it will count as part of your assessment. So please make sure you fill that form before you leave. Also, I want to thank our resource person. Once again, thank you very much for availing yourself and for pouring out from your experience and knowledge. I want to thank the team, the NELIREF team, who have been working assiduously at the background to keep the system seamless. May the Lord bless every one of you. Tomorrow we'll have day 2 for this week. It will start same time by 8 a.m. West African time. Wherever you're joining us from, please add it to your calendar so that you do not miss it. So we are going to start quite early today, tomorrow rather, just like today. So please do well to show up in time. Once again, unless there is maybe a closing remark by the director, we'll be calling it a day now because our time is already far spent. Thank you very much.
No, I don't have anything. Go ahead.
Okay, once again, this one is going to be the final. Thank you. So thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.